The issues discussed on the Roll Call Room podcast do not reflect the opinions of any specific agency. Any characters discussed on this show may be fictional for comedic value unless you're a shitbag Steve. This podcast is rated explicit and listener discretion is advised.
I want you to stop gathering information from outside yourself and start gathering it from the inside.
He made a mistake. And he paid for his mistake with a lot of pain, a lot of tears. And there came to a point where he knew he should have gotten a divorce. But he was stuck. He was stuck in something called revenge. He said, she's made me so miserable, I'm going to pay her back. He was stuck. And he stayed in there longer than he should have because it began to attack him. It began to affect him psychologically. He took that same attitude to other relationships, looking for something to go wrong. He was burned so badly, he did not want to risk pain again. He was going in relationships trying to avoid pain. When it became too close, he would do something to make sure the relationship did not work. He would always try and find something wrong with the person because there are no perfect people. So if you look for it, you can find it. He was stuck in revenge.
Is it difficult? Sure. Isn't anything that's worthy of character building? Sometimes I have to forgive the same people over and over and over again. However, forgiveness is a practice worth cultivating, worth experiencing. When you forgive somebody for something that you perceive that they've done wrong to you, you are releasing that animosity, that energy, that ill will that you're harboring inside. And it's a lot more difficult than just merely saying, I'm sorry.
I once heard somebody say that I never met a critic that's doing better than me. I never met a hater that's doing better than me, and that's the truth. I love my haters. I love my critics. You know, it would be amazing. It would be amazing if motivation only came from positive places. And you know, a lot of people say that, a lot of people speak on that, but I don't think that's true, and I strongly disagree.
Truth is, I don't think people understood what it was I was doing at Schaefer. I wasn't there to conduct. Any fucking moron can wave his arms and keep people in tempo. I was there to push people beyond what's expected of them. I believe that is an absolute necessity.
I think you become more motivated when you're able to transform it and turn it into a positive. Because sometimes our best motivation, sometimes I'm my most motivated by my critics, by people who are negative, by people who told me I'm too young, from people who told me I can't do it, I'm not cut out for it. That drives me.
Find out the reasons that will make you strong, that will make you walk by faith and not by sight, that will make you pursue your dream when everybody is against you or don't believe in you no more. And let me tell you something, that's a lonely feeling. It's a lonely feeling, particularly people that you're doing it for, or people that stand to benefit the most, or people who should be the #1 members in the encouragement club, but they end up saying, you can't do it, and they become members of the discouragement club. Oh, it hurts very badly. I know what that's like. Have people that you love close to you that look at you with that look and say, why don't you try something else? Why don't you give up? I say, but this is my life. I have got to do this.
Everyone tells you what to do and what's good for you. They don't want you to find your own answers. They want you to believe theirs.
You're listening to the podcast that changed the game and rocked an entire profession. talking about shit in law enforcement that keeps poor leaders up at night. When others run scared and hide behind fake policies, the Roll Call Room podcast tells it like it is. No bullshit. No matter how hard these thieves try, we keep killing it. And now, here are your hosts, Nick and Mike.
Mike? Yes? Yes? No, I'm not running. I'm not running for the hills.
To the Roll Call Room podcast, folks, we are back. It's so good to have you back. I can stop answering emails, and we can finally put this police report to end, that you're not, we don't have to declare you legally dead. You are alive. You have been living it up. You've been retired for how long now, buddy?
A year and change? Yeah, buddy.
Holy shit. How is retired life? Like,
oh, God.
legit?
I mean,
Is it
it's
good?
horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. Unbelievable. I wake up at 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
No, hold on. Before you do that. So just full transparency for some folks, like, to organize an episode with you has to correlate between your sleeping schedule, sports schedule with your kids, drinking schedule, and not in excess where please don't start sending emails and shit.
No.
Doesn't have a problem.
No, it's always 5 o'clock somewhere.
Right. And as we record this, you are drinking out of probably one of the largest solo cups I've ever seen. It's definitely not, well, it is noon-ish here.
I just woke up, man.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I had to text you at 11 to make sure that you were up. I felt like a parent. Like, I was like, "Hey, are you up?" And you were like, "Yep." And I was like,
"No, I didn't go to school."
Yeah. So, man,
I was up. I was showered. I was ready to go, and then my computer took a crap.
Well, and you and I were laughing before we hit record on this, was that it had been so long since we've done an episode of Roll Call Room that, like, half of the passwords that I have for the stuff that we
expired.
I don't remember. I don't know. Like, I don't remember which program we use. And then we used to use one program, like, when we're doing this video thing, and that place, that site sucks now. And so we tried something different. So this is a preview. So hopefully everybody likes it. A lot has transpired between, our last episode and now, man. Like, so retired life is treating you good?
Yeah, retired life is good, man. Just on another note, Justin Gutierrez hit us up on Facebook, like, "Yo, when you get another episode." so I hit him up back last night. So I kind of felt that I needed to get on today. So
yeah, and it's been, I feel like I've cheated the fans too, because I've probably put on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter a million times, new episode coming out soon, and then it turns out that there is no episode.
You blame it all on me, between, like you said, sports, motorcycles, and everything else in between. You can blame it on me.
Motorcycle accidents, how's that going, man? No new motorcycle accidents, I hope.
No, I can't talk about the incident. It's in legal matters right now.
It's in legal
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
All
you
know how fast you're going?
Yeah, I don't envy that, my friend.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I don't remember all that, hearing any of that. But hey, whatever. I'm still here.
Yeah, whatever gets you paid. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so retirement life is pretty good. Just chilling and
think it was
enjoying.
Good?
No, not really. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, you got to get another job. Oh my God, you have to
Well, that's typically what winds up happening, though. Like most of the people, when they retire, they don't really fully retire in law enforcement because they didn't.
Yeah. But you know what? My numbers were good, and 20 years. How much? How many more pennies am I going to try to chase after?
Well, and it's interesting. I saw an article yesterday. It just so happened that this article came out yesterday, and it was about your great place that you used to work. And the title of the article is "Bleeding Blue: Cops Flee NYPD and Biggest Exodus Since 9/11."
I think they've been saying that for years now.
Well, these are the stats: 3,701 retired or resigned just in 2022. It's just to put into context. I mean, that's a pretty large department. So, that's kind of large, right?
Yeah, it is. But you know what? Like, all these tests are coming out. All these departments are looking, and they're pulling people, and all the incentives are so much better. Yeah,
but what's the caliber? Like, what's the caliber of the next generation of law enforcement? Like, what do we think the next caliber is going to be?
I don't know.
The other problem is that when the new ones join, who's there to train them?
That's
babies.
The public. The public's there to train them.
Oh yeah. The real legal experts.
Exactly.
The legal experts are there.
Exactly. And I'll never forget one of my last jobs that I went on. This guy was beating the shit out of the cops, and the cop, after the fact, I was like, "Yo, what are you doing?" It's like, "I don't want to get in trouble. There's too much video." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here."
That's everywhere, though, man. I mean, they're indicting cops that are on body cam video doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Because that's the new way of doing stuff is indict, let a grand jury sort it out. And if the grand jury indicts, have a trial and allow 12 people that have no clue about, police procedure and stuff like that. Let them Monday morning quarterback.
And that's what it's going to be. And it's disgusting.
Yeah. And I think, just talking to other people, being on other podcasts as like a guest on their show. There's folks that are still.
Thanks for the invite.
You're welcome, buddy. You wouldn't have come anyway. So
I know. I probably would have been sleeping.
Half of these podcasts happen when you're like way asleep.
Yeah.
So just to do some housekeeping. So Logan will still be on the show. We'll get a threesome going on soon with you.
He's still lifting weights.
So he's fucking cranking, man. He's also started a fitness company. So I'm super proud of him. I wish I had that drive and that stamina to do it. I'm just too busy. But
I was thinking about doing a fitness company.
Really?
Yeah. Fitness dick in your mouth.
You should have saved that for when he comes on the show.
Yeah, I know. I'd
love to have heard his reaction.
Yeah, But hey, quick, talk about the caliber of cadets or probationary police officers.
Yeah.
Did you see the post? It was in early December. 2 rookie NYPD cops were suspended after they were having sex in the bathroom.
What?
At the academy. You didn't hear about that?
No.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do that?
I don't think so.
What do you say? Like, what do you say when you're caught doing that? Like, my bad. I didn't read that we weren't allowed to do that.
It's just like every other perp when you catch somebody. It's not my pants.
Yeah,
not my dick. Not my dick.
But do you think their recruitment is so bad that all they did was say to them, "Hey, listen, just don't do that shit here, please"? And then
we had go to the academy. We had like demerit cards, right?
Oh.
So give me 2 cards, and we had to go to room 523 to go see like the integrity officer and get yelled at. I remember I got one pulled because we were at first motherfucking day, 20 plus years ago. First motherfucking day. They're like, all right, go take a break. So I had to go take a piss.
You
I'm online.
Yourself up back up.
What?
Did you forget to zip yourself back up?
No, I fucking. They're like, all right, everybody back to their seats. I'm like, I'm pissing. Like, what the fuck? So I got in trouble.
Late.
Yeah, I got in trouble because I took too long pissing.
If I'll tell you, if there were demerits in my academy, I would have probably been kicked out. Like, because the same way I am on the show and in our life together was the same way that I was at the academy. I was just a fucking jokester. I mean, when I had to take stuff seriously, I took stuff seriously, but for the most part, it was, pranking and joking. And then at the end of the academy, we were allowed to do impressions of our academy.
I think everybody does that.
Do they?
Yeah, NYPD did that too.
Oh, dude, I did an impression of all the academy instructors, and one academy instructor, he always had like a little piece of spit on the end of his lip. And I probably took the impression too far, because what I did was I had sucked on a Tic Tac for the whole entire impersonation until I got to his. And I stuck the Tic Tac on my lip so you could clearly see it. And he was visibly pissed, visibly angry.
Ass hurt.
No sense of humor. Well, he was a shitty fucking, the reason why he was at the academy was not because he was number one at arrests and investigations. It was where do we put this fucking piece of shit?
Yeah.
And I don't know how your academy was, but the majority of our instructors for Northern Virginia area, at least when I went through the academy, the majority of them were put there to hide them, to kind of get them out of the chief's hair.
No, majority of the instructors now have fucking 2 years on the job, way too much time.
Oh my God, man!
But no, I had some good instructors in the academy. I had some asshole instructors in the academy.
Yeah.
Good story about how fucking stupid the fucking academy is. During 9/11, we're working hand in hand with the instructors, because obviously they were our immediate supervisors. So we're on the pile, and we're checking houses, and we're doing everything, and it's driving them home. We actually went to a strip club with them. Cool, and everything is good. This is what police department is, a brotherhood, and blah, blah, blah. Fucking first day back to the academy after 9/11, these motherfuckers were like, you ain't fucking shit. You think you're a cop? You ain't shit. You're not, you're worthless. That's what do you say? You're just as the shit on my shoes. And I'm sitting there going, this motherfucker. I had a beer with this motherfucker 2 days ago.
Yeah. We were breaking policy 2 days ago.
I'm like,
now you're high and mighty. But yeah. I think maybe some of the, I don't like to use the word bully, because I think there is a place and a time to set folks straight that have a big ego, and that happens a lot. You get a lot of folks that come into the academy
absolutely
huge egos. They think that just because they passed the test and they got the call and now they're at the academy, that their shit doesn't stink. And typically it's the bullies that were in high school or now.
Well, sometimes they take the job just for that reason. I know a guy, summons guy, he would fucking write every good-looking female a ticket. And his reasoning was because they didn't want to go out with me in high school.
Oh, see.
And then you get all these guys. I know somebody fucking took the job because he was a little jerk off as a kid.
Yeah.
He was pampered by mommy and daddy. Well, mommy, because daddy left with
the secretary.
Yeah. And fucking
hotter.
He took the job
and likes to take it in places mommy doesn't like to take it.
Oh yeah. No, mommy actually gives it to him too.
Yeah.
Come here, honey. Let me see your cock and balls. Adam Sandler reference is a great skit. And
audience is too young to know.
Yeah. So he took the job just to be a dick, and now he thinks he knows who the fuck he is, and but he ain't shit. He was never a cop. He was involved in a couple things, and he's a fucking pussy.
Well, and we had that too. And in my academy class, we had quite a few people that came on, because in your academy, it was strictly New York City. That was your academy, was all of New York City. In my academy, it was comprised of 18 different agencies in one academy.
Right. Because you get your certificate is like all of like Northern Virginia.
Correct. But it's fucking bonkers because basically the academy is only teaching you the bare basics of Virginia law. Then you come out of the academy and you have to now learn your city or your county in Virginia's laws and policy.
No, that's after you graduate.
That's after you graduate. You go to field training for 6 months.
And how old is your field training officer? How many years in the job your field training officer have?
When I went through my first academy instructor, which was a real fucking pain in the ass. This guy gave me a nonstop fucking headache. I think he only had 4 years on the job. And he thought he was God's greatest gift to the world. Like, I would have to hear nonstop about how fucking great he is, how many arrests that he's made, and all this other bullshit. And then you pull up his stats in like the database, and they were all like drunken.
All wrong. Yeah, bullshit.
They were all bullshit. And his answer to it was, well, I'm potentially saving somebody from getting robbed. Well, the time that it's taking you to deal with a drunk in public, you can be doing 50 other different things, like doing a traffic stop, getting into drugs, getting guns off the street. But he was terrible. Like, he was the worst instructor, right? My second one had, I want to say like 10 or 11 years on the job, and he was a Marine. And this guy was hard fucking core. Like, he actually scared me to the point. I think I had called you a couple of times because I really didn't think I was going to make it off of field training because of him. He would yell at me constantly. I mean, like,
oh, was this the guy I told you just play the game?
Yes. Yeah.
I think you shit yourself a couple times when you talked to me.
I think I called you after he kicked me out of the car and he made me walk to the next call. Because for you young people out there, we had these things that you had to unfold and look at for you to get from point A to point B. And I had just moved from New York City to Virginia, so I had no fucking clue about Virginia. And New York is simple. It's 1st Street, 2nd Street, 3rd Street, 4th Street, so on and so forth. In Virginia, every street and avenue has a name to it. So it has no fucking rhyme or reason. So I was always getting lost. Like, my geography was terrible, bro. One night, he just got tired of it. And he was like, we were on our way to a call, Mike. And he's like, pull over here. And I'm like, we got to get to this fucking call. And he's like, pull over. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking get it. And he goes, get out of the car. He gets out of the car. He goes to the driver's side and go to get in the passenger side, and he fucking locks the door. And he rolls down the window, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And he's
just
like,
a crack.
Yeah, I'll see you at the fucking call. And I go, what the fuck are you talking about? And he made me fucking walk, man. It took me like almost a half an hour to get to the fucking call.
And you're walking every step. You're like, this.
I was fucking angry. I was fucking hot. And then this is how much psychological warfare he would do. Is when I got to the scene after like all of that time, he goes, all right, let's go get a cup of coffee. Like, nothing fucking happened. And we get in the car, and I'm in the fucking passenger seat fuming, freezing my balls off. And he would like look over at me and he'd go, what's wrong? What's wrong?
What's wrong, pumpkin?
And dude, I was so fucking angry. But it taught me humility. It taught me that if I could put up with that in the car, somebody getting in my face and screaming at me and calling me different names and all this other stuff, I could deal with it. Now, the second time around when I did field training, like when I went back to after I quit my department, and then I came back, and I had already been with the department for like 15 plus years. They were like, well, because you were a sergeant for almost 8 years, you got to go through field training again, a modified field training.
Yeah, I remember that. And then I think my response was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Dude, everybody's response was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Did you have you had a female?
A female, 2 years on the job, and her boyfriend. Here's the best part: her boyfriend, or fiance, whatever the fuck he was at the time. I had field trained him, and not only had I field trained him, but I had recommended for him not to continue working for the department because he was that he was that bad. And this is how fucked up my old agency is. He is now a sergeant. He just recently got promoted, and his issue was he was the type of recruit, and even as an officer, no confrontation skills, very timid. That he definitely wouldn't jump in a stack. Like if you were in a fight, that guy would not jump in. Like he would be off to the side.
He'd be the one holding the radio upside down, pretending to call for help. Yeah,
exactly. So back to her. So my options were her. They gave me an option. So it was either her.
Well, that's good. I mean, at least you get an option.
Dude, they both had less than 3 years.
Dipshit 1 or dipshit 2.
And not only that, like she had no fucking clue what she was doing. Half of her information was wrong. Her case law was wrong. Like I would constantly butt heads with her, and then I would see her in the passenger seat texting her fiance.
I'm the field training officer. This guy thinks he fucking knows it all.
What's funny is like we would do like a traffic stop, right? And I would smell the odor of marijuana, so I'd pull everybody out of the car and I'd start searching the car, the legal way of searching the car in the areas that I can search without a search warrant. And we'd get in the car and she would go, just so you know, you can't just search a car like that. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's like, you just can't search a car because you think you smell marijuana. I go, do you even know what case law is?
Officer, I think they ran over a skunk.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a lot of skunks around here.
You just violated his rights. And I was like, this is the 3 Supreme Court cases that you should really brush up on. And I would see her in the passenger seat, like texting her fiance or boyfriend. And then
this guy's a dick.
Dude, 5 minutes later, she would turn around and she would go, well, just so you know, like you can do that and you can do it that way. But the better way to do it is this, this, and this. And I would like look over at her and I'd be like, girl, I have my kids are almost your age. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, who the fuck are you trying to school? And it was terrible, man. It was fucking terrible. And then like I had a date where I was supposed to get released to solo patrol because we would drive solo.
She probably recommended you not to continue the.
I came in. I'll never forget it. I came in the day that I was supposed to be solo, and I was the happiest fucking human being because then I could be in the car by myself, do my own fucking thing, leave me alone. And I had already been fucking super depressed because they fucking took my stripes away from me and all this other stuff. And I walk in, and this other sergeant, this female sergeant, who I thought she was very good, and kudos to her. She's on the lieutenant's list now. She had come up to me and she was like, listen, I know you're really going to be angry when I tell you this. And I was like, what? And she's like, apparently the chief has to sign off on you being cut loose. I go, what? I was like, personally sign off on it? Why? I've been here for 15 plus years. I've never seen a recruit have to have their documents signed off personally by the chief. And she goes, well, I just spoke to the lieutenant who was a piece of shit. Thankfully, he's retired. And she's like, he says you have to drive with her for another night. And I got in that fucking roll call, and I just turned to her and I was like, I don't want to hear a word from you tonight. I don't want to talk to you. And we aren't doing anything tonight. I'm just telling you right now, you can brush up on your TikToks or whatever the fuck you do when you're not, quote unquote, field training somebody. But I'm not doing anything tonight. And that's exactly what wound up happening. I think we handled 2 calls for service that night, and I fucking parked somewhere because I would have either fucking killed this girl, or I was not in a good headspace at all, man. Not at all. And I think we're seeing it now. I think that's the problem is that we have a lot of folks that have left. I know in your agency you've had a lot that have left. I know in my agency, which is very small, it's 300 people. I think it was 302 when I left. They're down, I think, to like 240, 250.
Wow, that's a lot for a small department.
It is, and a lot of them have left because of the culture. A lot of them have left because of the bullying. A lot of them have left because the leadership was supposed to turn over in the right direction when I got Dickhead Chief removed. All that wound up happening was the Good Old Boys Club they just took over. Like everybody that's there that I still talk to says the same thing, which is that they're all fucking miserable. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, it's really never going to change.
No. And I was kind of happy to hear that now the city that I worked in now has a police accountability auditor, or I forgot what her title is. And I was pretty excited to see that maybe the police department will be held accountable. I doubt it. I'm sure that doesn't make the Good Old Boys Club feel good that now they can't take internal investigations and kind of skirt them under the carpet if they like you. And I feel like that happens everywhere. It's not just my department; it's everywhere.
Yeah, that happens everywhere.
Yeah. And I know I've gone on a couple of different podcasts, and one in particular, Turk and Swagger, their podcast. They're going to come on to ours. They've been through it, man. Like they came to us before they started their podcast, and I warned them. I said to them, "Hey, listen, be careful what you do. Be careful with starting this thing because you're going to ruffle a lot of fucking feathers." And these folks that are not secure about their ability to lead are not going to be happy about you talking.
Nope,
or poor
absolutely not
at all. And sure as shit, before they hit their 1 year with their podcast, they were gone. They were gone from that agency. They were forced out.
Really? That sucks.
Yeah. And it happens, man, because you're not allowed to talk about that stuff. You're not.
No, it's forbidden.
Yeah.
I mean, who wants to be embarrassed? You know?
Yeah, and at their own doing. Like nobody else is embarrassing them. They do it to themselves.
Right.
But I will tell you, I titled this episode "Forgiveness" because I think, for me personally,
I forgive you.
Yeah, I know you do. I think for me, for a really long time, and you know this from behind the scenes, like I've been gone now almost 2 years. So yeah, it's got to be 2 years now from them. And I was just angry, man. Every day I was angry.
I mean, maybe just a little. I mean,
yeah. I was.
As I fucking roll my eyes, I forget nobody can see it. They can only hear us.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty angry. But then, like, I started to realize that it really doesn't benefit anybody. Like, it doesn't benefit me. Like, I still talk to quite a few people that are still left over at that agency, and hearing them tell me that nothing has changed just reaffirmed that it wasn't me. 10% of it was me. I definitely fucking poked the bear. Like I definitely
just a little. A little.
I think Mike and I, when we started everything, I think we really put our fingers in their face and we were like, I fucking
not this Mike. The Mike that ran for the hills.
Mike won. And looking,
I'm still here, motherfucker.
Looking back,
and I want my fucking ashtray back, you prick.
You're not getting your ashtray back.
He could take that ashtray and shove it up his ass.
Stop. You're gonna ruin the surprises for later. Stop.
I'll make sure I'm sleeping that fucking episode.
You stop it. But I will say.
Oh, you fuck just lit a fire under my ass, motherfucker.
I will say that, like, I mean, you remember when I came to you and I was like, hey, listen, I think I'm going to do a podcast. You were like, a what? And I was like, I'm going to do a podcast about how shitty my leadership is at my department, but we're not going to mention anything to do with, we're not going to mention where we work, and we're not going to mention people's names. And I remember your reaction was like, you sure that's a good idea, man? Like, that you're going through?
I don't know why nobody listens to me.
I wasn't going to listen, dude. I'll be honest.
Oh no, it's going to be great. What are they going to do? I'm a union leader and this and that and blah blah blah. It's for the people. It's for the people. It's fuck you.
Yeah, and a lot of good that did because they didn't give a shit. Union leader, they didn't give a shit. But like, we definitely pushed the envelope probably a little bit too far. But I think,
yeah, but you know what? It kind of you fucking said shit that people are thinking, and no one had the balls to fucking say it.
Yeah, but that alone is a drug. Like,
of course, because you're pushing and see how far you fucking go.
Well, then
I had plenty of phone calls from mutual friends, like, I've listened to the show. What the fuck is up? Nick better stop. And I'm like, Nick's gonna do what Nick's gonna do.
Yeah, I occasionally will listen to those old ones, and I say to myself, I was like, yeah, I could kind of see where things kind of went south.
Especially like listen to the ones when after we got to come up with it after Rosie O'Donnell left.
Stop.
I'm just quiet because you're just going, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, this is not good. This is not good. One of us is going to get fired.
And you know what? I never thought that they would use the probation thing. I never thought that they would use that wild card. And I guess the reason why I didn't think that they would was because I said to myself, I was like, well, what would they base the termination off of? And so when Mike 1 had called
Rosie O'Donnell,
when he had called me and said, hey, I'm hearing rumors that you're under investigation, I laughed. I mean, I told you this story. I laughed.
Yeah.
And then my laughter turned into, oh shit, I need to start protecting myself. Like, I started going into my emails because when I had left the department, and then I came back, it was only 2 weeks.
But you forget that he left you on your own too.
Stop. You were there to pick up the pieces. Okay. All right. But when I came back,
it's out of my hands, man. I can't help you. and then hold on. What's this? Run into the hills.
Stop it. Stop. But I
should have been that. I should have been that sniper on the top. Bink, bink. Get back there. See? He's your brother from another mother.
Stop.
No, you left.
Anyway, so when I came back to the department,
you're such a pussy.
I'm not saying anything because
that's right. Yeah, all right.
I don't want to ruin things. So here's the thing.
Oh yeah.
So
let's get ready to rumble.
I can't wait for that episode. Anyway, so I come back from leaving the department only for 2 weeks. Luckily, I had all my emails because I never deleted fucking emails, and I don't delete work emails for the work I am where I'm at now. So I was able to print out all these emails to kind of like prove that I didn't do anything wrong with what the allegations were. And luckily I had access to it. Little did I know that wouldn't really make a difference. Because when I got pulled in for questioning, I was handing over emails, like I printed them out and I was handing them over. And this piece of shit that was doing my interview, he was terrible, first of all. He just didn't care. Like, you could clearly see that the decision.
Because it was a direct order from the chief.
From Chief Fuckface. Yeah.
That's, you know what? It just, they were ass hurt that you left. And, you had to go back to them. Yeah. And they had you by the balls. So every little fucking thing that you did, I think things would have been different if they gave you your rank back and they.
I wouldn't have started the podcast. I wouldn't have started the podcast. I could tell you
that.
That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or you might have started it in a different
context.
Yeah.
And I've thought about that. That's good that you brought that up, because if they had brought me back the way that the chief had promised that he was going to, which was to bring me back as a sergeant, mum would have been the word. You would have never heard from me again.
Right.
I would have been silent, because that would have showed good leadership. It would have showed, hey, listen, the guy came back, he jumped on the sword. I ate a lot of shit, man, because in my exit interview, when I say my exit interview was bad with Dickhead Chief, it was top 5 worst conversations in my life.
I remember you say, I don't remember the exact, but I remember you calling me, and you were like, "Yeah, that wasn't good."
Well, I got out of there. I called my wife first, because I was sobbing, because the way that I was treated in that exit interview. First of all, I was told to leave. It was like I hadn't done the amount of time that I did in that department. I didn't bury an officer that died of cancer. None of that mattered, man. All the community events, doesn't matter, man.
It matters that day, that minute, that second after it's over.
And it was my fault.
Nothing.
I honestly did not think I would be returning. But hindsight now, I probably would have just kept my mouth shut and said to the chief, "Listen, this is just something that I got to do." And exactly. I would have two-fisted. I would have starfished. Instead, what I did was I said, "Well," he said, "Well, give me your honest reason why you're leaving." And I said, "Well, let me tell you my honest reason. I've had a hostile work environment claim for the last 8 months on a lieutenant who's still my lieutenant. You haven't reassigned her. And nobody seems to care. HR doesn't care. You don't care. And I have to come into work every single day, and I have to deal with this person every single day. And this has been going on for 8 months. So you know what that tells me? That you don't care about me. You don't care about my team. You don't care about my partner, the other sergeant." And he was like, "Well, how dare you?" And I was like, "How dare me?" And he goes, What about this Facebook message that you put on?" And I was like, "Facebook message?" And he had a screenshot of a Facebook status that I made the day before my exit interview. And it was me smoking a cigar. I'll never forget this. It was me smoking a cigar saying, "I can't wait to get away from the chaos and dysfunction." And I looked at it, and I could have turned around. I could have been dishonest, and I could have been like, "That has nothing to do with the department." But I took that fucking bait, man.
Hold on. Let's reel them in. We got one.
Just my New York mentality. I took that bait, and I said to him, I go, "You don't think that that's true?" And he goes, "Which part?" I said, "The whole thing. You don't think that there's disorder and dysfunction in this department still?"
Well, son.
And he's like, he goes, "What are you trying to say?" I said, You live up here on the 3rd floor. All of us live in the basement. All of patrol lives in the basement. We know what reality is. You're detached from reality. You have no conception how bad morale is." And eventually it got to the point where he was just like, he goes, he ended it in an angry way. And then what had happened was I had put that my end date was going to be like, I don't know, January 26th. And that was before I talked to city HR, and city HR was like, "Yeah, you don't do that. You got always put the 1st of the month so that you have insurance coverage from the 1st to the end of that month."
Motherfucker's like, today.
Well, that's, I said to him, I go, "And by the way, I'm going to have to write an addendum to my resignation memo. It's going to be February 1st. And he was like, "No, it'll still be January 26th. And I was like, I looked at him. I was like, "You don't make that decision." And I'll never forget this, Mike. He goes, "I'm the fucking chief of police. The 26th is your last fucking day here." And I was like, "Okay." And I was shocked that he signed like my retirement paperwork, because in Virginia at 10 years, you can file for retirement, but you don't get a pension. It's just for your creds. And so I was shocked that when I put the paper in front of him, I was like, "I need you to sign this and this." One was for my creds, and one was for me to buy my duty weapon, the weapon that I graduated the academy with. And he signed both of them. I was very, very shocked. And so my next appointment after that was with the city HR. And the city HR was like, yeah, he can't make that decision. You want to change it to the first? Yeah, it's the first. It's like, okay.
Hey, fuck you.
But then the second go round when I got booted, this current chief that's in there now, this guy's he's another, that'll be a whole other episode. He refused to sign my retirement stuff. Still refuses to sign my retirement stuff. So that's a fight that I'm gonna have to take up with the new city police.
Why is he
I did not leave the department in good standing. That was what I was told. So, which is interesting because at the final, like when I got my final paperwork, even though I resigned, when I got my final paperwork, the only thing that was terminable that was on my paperwork was something that was just, you couldn't prove. Like there's no way of proving this charge. And so the department took it upon themselves and were like, yeah, we find you guilty. And you're like,
no.
How the fuck does that work? Like, who the fuck makes that decision? But you know, I truly believe that I think that kind of shaped good things for me in the future. I think I was very angry with a lot of people for a long time. I don't think I am anymore, or if I am, it's.
Hey, do you think we could put in a request to have Chiefs on?
Well, the one dickhead chief will probably never come on.
Why not?
I'll do it. I'll do it in California time.
I heard he read your book.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Somebody left his book at his open house, right, or some shit like that.
Yeah, I did, man. Yeah,
I don't know anything about that, but
yes, I did. You know, I think if he wasn't a coward, I think that would be, it would have happened already. I think he would have reached out and been like, "Listen, I'm not the chief anymore, and we got to settle."
Did he get a new job?
I don't think so.
No, because I think he wanted to retire and be with his kids, his like third wife or something, right?
Some bullshit. Like his wife failed out of the police department that was next to us. She had failed out of our police department before he even became chief. Like she was terrible.
Right, but he wanted to go back home or something like that.
Yeah, same bullshit reason he gave when he left CHP in California was the same reason he gave when he left Alexandria. It was like, I got to focus on family. No, it's nobody wants you here.
Yeah.
And you could always tell how important you are, how valued you are when you leave, like when you retire or leave. Because that dude slunked out the back door. Like I saw pictures on Facebook and maybe 15 people showed up to his goodbye ceremony.
I must have been really liked. I had a fucking mariachi band at my retirement.
Yours was fucking sweet, man.
Mine was awesome.
Yeah. Mine was more of like, my second time was more of like, bring all of my stuff back in garbage bags and Home Depot moving boxes.
Jesus.
And it was during COVID, so the two dickheads from internal investigations took my shit and threw it in trash bag, like the trash can. It was fucking like so disrespectful. But you know, it goes back towards the bully mentality, man. Like, you know, they do what they do because the chief says that they can do it that way.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But it builds. I think it builds character.
Oh yeah. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. Time for that game that we always play. Like, I'm in the name of phobia. Tell me what type of phobia it is. Mike, what's a nomophobia?
I can't hear you.
Mike, what's a nomophobia?
What the fuck do I know?
A nomophobia. You don't know what nomophobia is?
It's fear of eating.
Good try. It's fear of being without your cell phone, Mike.
No.
Isn't that terrible?
I don't fucking give a shit.
Ablotophobia.
You can't even say it right.
Ablatopia. Yeah, ablatopia.
Tell me, what is it?
Fear of bathing, which, judging from your Fu Manchu that you got going on, might be something you want to look into.
Yo, this shit's nice, man.
What's an octophobia? Octophobia.
Fear of October. I don't know.
The fear of the number 8. Number 8. That's terrible. Chief Dickophobia.
That's
Chief Dickophobia.
That's a fear of getting ass raped by a chief.
Very good.
Without lube.
Very good. Very, very good. Here's another one. Neil and succophobia. Neil and succophobia. Neil and succophobia.
You definitely don't have a fear of that. Correct.
Neurophobia. All right. Well, that wraps it up for this episode, folks. Mike, thank you for coming back. We'll have many more to go. I can't wait. I'm excited. The gang is back.
I just want to give a shout out to my cousin.
Ooh, okay.
He's in somewhere close by to you.
Oh,
Made
nice.
detective back in December. Just congratulations.
Congrats, buddy. Congrats.
And I still have challenge coins that I have to send him that I'm just being a lazy ass now at this point.
Jeez.
Can't send them out. I know, I'm a dick. I have them though. Congrats, cuz.
All right, folks. As always, you can reach out at nick@rollcallroom.com or go to rollcallroom.com.
Oh, just quick.
Do you want to help the Roll Call Room podcast keep going? Of course you do. Join Patreon and pledge to the show each month. Tiers start at $5 and you could get some pretty cool shit with it, including swag and access to listen to episode clips early. So put that Starbucks coffee down and help my dad keep the show going. Don't be a fucking Steve. Go to rollcallroom.com to pledge today.